everybody, and welcome to Tuesday's maths lesson. So today's maths lesson carries on from the work yesterday, which was actually quite tricky, and I think the trickiest thing that most people found was finding the midway point between two numbers using a number line. So today we're going to look at three different methods that we can use to help us work out the midway point between two numbers. The first method we're going to look at is to first of all find the difference between two numbers. When we're finding the difference, we need to take away. The example used here is 150 take away 30 is 120. Then you're going to half the difference. Halving means dividing by 2. We have got here 120 divided by 2 equals 60. If you don't know how to divide a number or half a number off the top of your head, remember to split it into hundreds, tens and ones if you need to. So I have got 100 divided by 2. So half of 100 is 50. And then I have got 20 divided by 2 is 10. And I add those together. So we've got 150 take away 30 is 120. Going to half the difference, so 120 divided by 2 is 60, and then you subtract that difference from the bigger number. 150 take away 60 is 90. You can work out that subtraction any way that you find easiest. You might want to use a number line and jump back. You might want to just use your knowledge of number. I know, for example, that 150 take away 50 is 100. I'm taking away 10 more, so that's 90. You can use column, you could draw deans, you can do whatever method you think works best to work that out. Quick reminder, so method A, the first way you can work out that midway point. You find the difference between the two numbers by taking the small number away from the big number. Then you half that difference, which means divide it by 2, and then you subtract it from the bigger number. Let's have a look at a different method we can use to work it out. Don't worry, I'll remind you of these methods and you can have a go at doing them as we're working our way through this video. Method B. You're going to start in exactly the same way. You're going to find that difference between the two numbers. Remember, difference we usually take away. So 150 take away 30 is 120. You can use whichever method you find easiest to take away, whether it's column, whether it's a number line, or whether it's your existing knowledge of number. You're going to half that difference again, 120 divided by 2. Just like I showed you before, you can work with the hundreds, half them, divide it by 2. Then you can work with the tens, then any ones if there are any. Then you're going to add that to the smaller number. So rather than taking it away from the larger number, like we did in method A, you are going to add it to the smaller number. Let's have a look now at method C for working out the midway, the halfway point between two numbers. You can work them out by adding both numbers together and then halving the answer. Let's have a look and see how that translates. So the number line we were looking at had 150 and it had 30. So you're going to add those two numbers together. You can do that by drawing deans, you can do it by using a number line or by using column addition. You have all these tools in your tool belt ready to use. Then you are just going to divide or half that answer. So the 180 divided by 2. If you don't know it off the top of your head, let's think about some existing knowledge you know to help you work it out. You should know that 18 divided by 2 is 9. So you should know that 180 divided by 2, which is 10 times bigger, the answer is also 10 times bigger with 90. Or you can divide 100 by 2, which is 50. And then you can divide 80 by 2, which is 40, and add those together. 50 add 40 is 90. Make sure you've got a pencil and a piece of paper. If you need to pause the video now, that's absolutely fine. And we're going to have a look at an example together. Let's have a go at working out this example together using method A. If you would like to pause the video and have a go independently, that's absolutely fine. Pause it now, or we can have a look and do this together. So our very first job is to find the difference between these two numbers. If you remember, when we were finding the difference before, difference we associate with subtraction. So we need to do 280 take away 70. You can use column, you can use number lines, or you can use your knowledge of number. I'm going to use my knowledge of number. I know that 80 take away 70 is 10. Therefore, I know that my answer is 210. So that is the difference between these numbers. Then my job is to halve the difference. That is to divide 210 by 2. I'm going to work it by halving the hundreds, then halving the tens. So half of 200 is 100. And then I know that half of 10 is 5. So I know that half the difference is 105. Then I need to subtract 105 from that bigger number. I could do that again, either using column subtraction, I could use a number line to work it out, or I could use my knowledge of number. I know that 280 take away 100 is going to be 180. I know that 180 take away 5 is 175. So 175 is the midpoint. Have a go at working through using method B, which is exactly the same. However, instead of taking away from 280, you're going to add it to the smaller number. Have a go, pause the video now. Did you get the same answer as we did for method A? Feel free to check back and have a look. Let's now have a look at method C. If you feel that you are confident, please do pause the video and have a go and check your answer back. If not, you can work it out with me. Find the halfway number by adding both numbers together and halving the answer. My job now is to add 280 and 70. I'm going to do that as a column. You might want to do it using your knowledge of number or a number line. 0 add 0 is 0. We have got 8 add 7, so 80 add 70, so 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. So I have got 5. And then 2 add 1 is 3, so I have got 350. Now I need to half 350. I know that 300 divided by 2 is 150. I know that because I know 30 divided by 2 is 15. Therefore, I know 300 divided by 2 is 10 times bigger. It's 150. Now let's have a look at the tens. I know 50 divided by 2 is 25. I've used my knowledge of number there. We did look at this earlier in the term. Then you can add those two together. So the midway point is 175. I would like you to have a look and work through this question independently. I have included on this slide method A, method B, and method C as a success criteria to help you. For each one of these questions, why don't you have a go at using A, B, and C to see which one you find easier to use? I'm not going to show the answer for this one, so have a play around with these different methods while you work out the midway point, firstly between 110 and 400, and secondly between 800 and 1140. Pause the video. Your independent activity to do today is to work out the midway point between these numbers. You can use a number line to help you, and you can also choose to use either method A, B, or C. If you would like to use two methods to double check that you get the correct answer, that would be absolutely amazing. Please upload your work onto Class Dojo and I will be able to give you feedback. If you are finding anything tricky, then just drop me a message and I will hopefully be able to help you. Remember, all of those skills you already have. You know how to add, you know how to subtract, and you also know how to half numbers. Think about that existing knowledge that you already have. Have fun, everybody, and I look forward to seeing your work.